Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. The CB90 is the kind of boat that makes ordinary patrol craft look annoyingly slow. Born in Sweden for coastal fighting and archipelago warfare, the Combat Boat 90 was designed to hit shorelines hard, move troops quickly, and stay agile in shallow water where larger ships lose freedom. The design can carry about 20 troops, uses water jets instead of exposed propellers, and can push past 40 knots. And that is one reason it became such an attractive craft for riverine and littoral forces. That speed is not just about excitement. It is about arriving first, turning harder, braking faster, and putting armed troops exactly where they are needed before the target or the enemy has time to react. That is why the boat keeps appearing in multinational exercises. During Exercise Archipelago Endeavour in Sweden in September 2018, U.S. Marines with Marine Rotational Force Europe 18.1 and Swedish Marines conducted amphibious assaults in the Swedish archipelago. 4 years later, at Bergen Naval Base during Archipelago Endeavour 2022, Swedish Marines from the 2nd Swedish Marine Battalion demonstrated the Combat Boat 90 to U.S., again using the exercise to sharpen cooperation and littoral skills. In both cases, the exercise was not simply about giving Americans a ride in a foreign boat. It was about proving how a fast assault craft can shape operations in a maritime battle space filled with islands, narrow waterways, and exposed landing points. The process becomes clearer once the boat is moving. Marines board fast, settle low, secure weapons and gear, and let the coxswain turn the hull into a high-speed insertion tool. Water jets throw the craft forward, while the bow stays ready for the next abrupt course change. The approach can be aggressive because the CB90 is built for it. It can rush a shoreline, pivot away, or throw troops out through the bow ramp in very little time. That matters during amphibious operations, where delay is dangerous and the landing zone may only be usable for a short window. In northern Norway, Finnish and Swedish Marines practiced amphibious operations with other NATO allies, reinforcing the same idea. These boats are not only Scandinavian coastal transports. They are tactical connectors for cold weather raids, shore insertions, and fast movement between ships and land. U.S. Marines rehearsed shore insertions on Swedish CB90s during Archipelago Endeavour 22 to gain experience in contested maritime environments, which is exactly the kind of mission the boat was built to support. Water casting adds another layer of violence to that process. During Exercise Platinum Ren in Norway in May 2018, U.S. Marines with 1st Reconnaissance Battalion and Norwegian Coastal Ranger Commandos trained by leaping from the moving CB90 into the water before swimming to the next phase of the mission. That evolution shows the boat at its most specialized. It is no longer just carrying troops. It is delivering them into the sea itself as part of an insertion sequence. That is also why Sweden's demonstrations matter so much to U.S. observers. The Americans are not studying a paper concept. They are testing a proven craft in cold water, short approaches, broken coastlines, and the constant possibility that a shoreline insertion must happen before an enemy can organize a resistance. In those conditions, the CB90's shallow draft and blunt, practical shape begin to make sense. Once the bow ramp drops, the idea is brutally simple. The boat becomes a moving bridge between sea and land. Troops pour forward, hit the beach or quay, and fan outward while the craft either waits, pivots, or accelerates away for the next movement. Speed gets the force there. Maneuverability keeps it alive on approach. The ramp turns velocity into presence. And because the boat can do it repeatedly, it gives commanders a way to keep pressure on a coastline without needing a much larger ship close in. The result is a compact amphibious assault system, one that Sweden perfected in its own coastal world, and that US forces continue testing whenever they want to know how far speed, maneuverability, and amphibious pressure can be pushed at sea. That is why its trials with US forces feel less like curiosity and more like preparation. The American answer in this story is the Mark VI patrol boat. A craft built not for Scandinavian archipelagos, but for the US Navy's own riverine and littoral security missions. At about 85 feet long, carrying a crew of 10+ additional personnel and capable of sprinting beyond 35 knots, the Mach 6 was designed to patrol shallow waters, protect key maritime infrastructure, and operate in places where larger warships are too cumbersome. It sits in an interesting middle ground, more substantial than a small assault boat, but still fast and compact enough to work close to shore, alongside larger ships, or out on its own. That flexibility is what makes the Mk6 so revealing in exercises. Boats assigned to Coastal Riverine Group 1, Detachment Guam, were used to showcase the class's abilities in 2018, demonstrating how one platform could cover maritime security, theater security cooperation, and a wider range of coastal missions across the 7th Fleet area. In practical terms, the Mk6 is not just a patrol craft. It is a mobile security node, one that can move armed teams, launch smaller craft, conduct boarding support, or protect larger naval units operating in crowded littoral space. Launching a combat rubber raiding craft from a patrol boat captures that flexibility perfectly. The mother craft comes alongside the problem area, slows, and lets the smaller boat become the tool for the next phase. That gives the patrol boat reach beyond its own hull. It can support insertions, inspections, or short-range movements without always exposing the larger platform to the same level of risk. The same logic appeared when Mk6s prepared to embark USS Comstock in the Philippine Sea. In October 2020, integrating with an amphibious dock landing ship and conducting littoral maritime security operations with Marines and sailors already deployed as Task Force Ellis. Mine countermeasure demonstrations pushed the boat in yet another direction. During Valiant Shield 2016, the Mk6 was used to demonstrate that a patrol platform can also contribute to detecting, supporting, or securing operations around maritime hazards. That matters because littoral warfare is rarely tidy. Patrol boats are often asked to do more than patrol. Refueling at sea reveals how these craft extend their useful radius. In October 2020, a Mk6 assigned to Commander Task Force 75 came alongside USS Comstock in the Philippine Sea for routine refueling at sea. That process is delicate for a fast patrol boat. The crew has to match the larger ship's motion, hold position, manage lines, and complete the fuel transfer without letting small boat agility turn into small boat instability. It is one of those procedures that looks calm only because the crew is doing everything right. Then comes live fire. During a 2020 shooting exercise, the Mk6 used its deck weapons against floating targets, including the kind of simple, improvised target that still tells crews whether the boat, the mounts, and the gunners are working as one. In that moment, the patrol boat stops being a security platform and becomes exactly what it was designed to be: a small, fast, armed combatant, able to bring force quickly into shallow or coastal battle space. And once that capability is understood, the story naturally points toward the next step beyond manned patrol craft altogether: the robotic patrol vessel. The boat's utility also depends on endurance under routine pressure. Crew members have to manage engines, fuel state, weapons, radios, and passengers while the hull pounds through chop at high speed. That constant workload is what turns a fast patrol craft into a true operational tool rather than a simple demonstration boat. That next step is represented by Sentinel, a robotic patrol vessel used in the patrol boat Autonomy trial. Rather than shrinking naval autonomy into a tiny test craft, the program used a full-size former patrol boat and turned it into a demonstrator for remote and autonomous operations. The vessel is about 57 meters long, making it a serious platform for testing how autonomy behaves in real maritime conditions rather than in a sheltered laboratory. Sea acceptance trials were a major milestone. The vessel completed the objectives of those trials off Western Australia, validating the integration of autonomous control with a large patrol boat hull. That is important because autonomy at sea is not only about whether a computer can steer, it is about whether the vessel can navigate, respond, and remain safe while operating in the messy reality of wind, waves, traffic, and changing instructions. Endurance trials then added another question. Not just can the robotic vessel move, but can it keep moving long enough to matter operationally? For a patrol craft, endurance is part of usefulness. A robotic system that can only function briefly has little value. A vessel that can remain effective through longer trials begins to look like a real future asset. The significance of that testbed is easy to miss if you think of autonomy as only a software problem. A robotic patrol vessel still has to obey the sea. It has to maintain course, avoid hazards, manage systems, and keep functioning when conditions are no longer ideal. Sea trials and endurance work, therefore, become proof that autonomy is not just about motion. It is about reliable behavior over time. Once a vessel demonstrates that, commanders can imagine futures in which patrol tasks, surveillance runs, and missions are handled with fewer people exposed on board. That is why Sentinel matters at the end of this story. The CB-90 showed how Allied forces test speed and insertion in demanding coastal conditions. The Mach 6 showed how the United States adapted patrol boat power to security, integration, refueling, and live fire roles. Sentinel pushes the same evolution one step further. It asks whether tomorrow's patrol boat may still race across the sea at speed, but do so with autonomy handling more and more of the workload. In that sense, the future of fast littoral warfare may not be slower. It may be even faster, more persistent, and increasingly robotic at sea. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.